Hi everyone. Today I am going to be doing a building challenge in Adopt Me. I am going to use a wheel to decide the colors, theme, and amount of rooms in my build, as well as which building I will use. First I am gonna spin to see which building I can use. These are the buildings I put. I didn't put any Roblox houses or really big buildings in. Now I have to spin to see how many colors I can use in my build. I can have anywhere from 1 to 7. Now I'm gonna spin to see which colors I can use. These are all the colors I put. Wow, those are actually good colors. Now I'm spinning to see which general theme I will have. Here are all the seasons and holidays I put. Now I'm gonna spin to see which one I'll get. Now, the last thing I'll spin for is how many rooms I can have. I put anywhere from 1 to 10. This is a tour of how the donut shop looks when you buy it. I'm gonna redecorate it completely while sticking to the things that the wheel decided. Just to recap, the donut shop has to have 5 rooms, be winter themed, and have 5 colors, which are pink, green, white, and 2 of any color. I've decided the last 2 colors are gonna be blue and brown to make it more winter themed. I'm starting the build by making the walls white and deleting anything that I think I won't use. I'm keeping stuff that I think I will use so I don't have to spend bucks on it later. I'm blocking off the hallway because I'm not gonna use it. I built the walls for a half bathroom that I am gonna have down here. Since it is a donut shop, the customers will need a bathroom. I also made a bathroom upstairs because the upstairs is where the owner is gonna live. Now I'm working on a display case for the donuts. I'm using glass double wall panels and pushing them in the floor so they are at the right height. Next I'm using chopping boards to be the top of the display case. I'm coloring them all pink so they will match with the rest of the build. Here I'm working on the kitchen area where the employees would make donuts and drinks. Oh yeah, I should probably say what the 5 rooms are gonna be. So the downstairs is gonna have the seating area where customers can eat their donuts in the shop. And there will also be a half bathroom and a kitchen down here. The upstairs is going to have a bedroom and bathroom because that will be where the owner lives. Right now I'm just placing icing on the kitchen counters and I've colored all the counters pink. I also used wooden floor panels to create a wood floor for the whole downstairs. Here I placed some archways and I'm also using bricks to make shelves. I wanted to have a bunch of shelves instead of having cabinets to store stuff. Now I'm just coloring all the bricks brown. I changed the archways to wood because I decided I didn't like them plain. Here, I've used chopping boards to make shelves in the display case, and I'm resizing a bunch of donut stools and pushing them into the ground to make them look like individual donuts. I'm also coloring them as I'm going. Next I'm resizing plates of donuts to fit them on the top shelf of the display case. I'm also placing some green trees around to help fill space and add more detail. I'm now building a snowflake wall design by placing and rotating shelves and coloring them light blue. I'm also putting a pink rug behind the snowflake and pushing the shelves into the wall. I am putting counters under the cash register to make the ordering area. I also colored the counters light blue to keep with the 5 colors. Here I've built some pillars in all the corners and made them striped to help with the winter theme. I'm placing penguin lamps because they give nice lighting and are also winter themed. Next, I'm making another pillar, and basically how I make them is I get two beams, resize them so they reach the ceiling, and then color one of them white and one of them brown and place them in the same spot and rotate one of them so it looks like stripes. Here I'm placing a chopping board on the floor to look like a mat under the sink, and now I finally realize that I want to change the middle arch to a pointed archway. I'm also resizing the mat to be bigger. Next, I am making a table in the kitchen area, and to do this, I placed a fridge sideways and moved it to be centered. I'm also resizing a rug near the table to help fill up empty floor space. I've made a mixer and put some other stuff on the table, and now the table is done. I'm now working on the seating area where people can eat their donuts. I'm making booth seats first and using half floor panels to be the tops of these tables. I have decided that I want this wall to be a brick wall, so I'm using double wall panels and pushing them in the floor a bit so they don't stick up through the second story. I also have to make them the same brown as the floor since I'm only allowed to use 5 colors. I'm making the legs for these tables now by using rectangular beams and resizing them to be smaller. I'm making realistic windows by using mirrors so that you can actually see the sky. Next, I'm placing a rug in front of the door to help separate the wall and floor colors, and also to help fill floor space. I am now placing some fall dining chairs in front of smaller tables, and putting a bottle on the display case counter for decoration. I made a menu for the donut shop using metal drawing boards, and now you know what you can order. Next, I'm making some snowflakes on this wall to make the donut shop more winter themed. I'm just using shelves like I did for the last snowflake. I'm making a window on the wall across from the snowflakes, and I added curtains on all the windows. I made the curtains using Edward wall trim and a short string as the curtain rod. I'm placing a couple more trees to help fill empty space. And now I'm working on the half bathroom. I'm placing a sink and counter next to the door and resizing the donut rug to be a mat for the sink. Next, I'm putting a mirror above the sink and starting on a wall design for the back wall of the bathroom. I placed a rug and colored it light blue, and I'm using wood bowls and pushing them into the wall to be a circle wall design. I also colored them pink to stay within the color palette, and I'm moving all the bowls around to make the wall design look better. I'm also adding in some resized discs and replacing a few of the bowls with them. Now I'm pushing the discs into the wall and I have a cute circle wall design. Next, I am placing some wall trim on the top of this wall, and I also put wall trim here. I'm putting a half floor panel on the floor of the second story and placing more wall trim. I'm quickly making a striped wall in the kitchen, and now I'm placing and decorating a shelf back in the bathroom. I am also putting a cute penguin lamp to add some lighting. I'm placing a resized towel on the sink, and I made a winter wall design on one of the bathroom walls. There is icicles on the top, and snow falling to the ground. Now I am placing some wall trim on the bottom of a bathroom wall, and pushing it into the ground a bit to make it shorter. This is what the main room of the donut shop looks like so far, and I'm moving on to the upstairs. I am going to make a giant window that spans across this whole wall, and I'm making the frame using beams. I've also resized a mirror to be the sky part of the window, and I've placed a bunch of trees and am now making a snowman. To do this, I place mushrooms on the wall and colored them white to be the snowman, and I resized beams to be the eyes, nose, and arms. I'm placing bricks and coloring them white to cover the tree pots, and also to look like snow. I want these trees to look like they're growing from the ground instead of being planted in pots. Next, I'm resizing a bunch of beams and pushing them into the wall to look like snow falling in the sky. I'm arranging them around in a way I like, and then I will start coloring them. I'm placing the glass in the window, and now it's done. I've started working on the bed now and I'm using 2 stylish beds to make a double bed. I'm also placing 2 large eating tables to be covers for the bed. I'm making a footboard out of bricks and placing a donut rug to help fill space on the floor. I'm now making a headboard using a resized brick and moving the covers around a bit so they're centered. This room is going to be very hard to fill since it's so big, so I will need to put a lot of other stuff in once I'm done making the bed. I am making pillows for the bed now using chopping boards and rotating them a bit. I also used a mushroom for the circle pillow. Now I'm making a really cool wall design that is going to look like berry branches. I'm using hanging strings and resized beams to be the branches, and mushrooms to be the berries. I'm also pushing the mushrooms into the wall a bit so you can't see their stems. This is how the finished wall design looks. I also added some squares because I think it looks cool, and I put string lights above the bed. I'm using the modern coffee table to make a nightstand next to the bed now, and I added some stuff on it. Next, I'm making a sitting area in front of the window and adding some stuff on the table. I'm making a desk near this wall and using resized chopping boards as the top of the desk. I also put a chair here and a laptop on the desk. I used resized beams to make the legs of the desk and added more stuff on it later. I placed a rectangular pet bed in front of the window, and I used a mushroom and chopping board to make pillows on the pet bed. I also resized a rug to go in front of the pet bed, and now it's perfect for any pet. I'm making a bookshelf now. I already placed some resized beams to be the frame, and a magic dresser to add more storage to it. I'm using bricks to make the shelves. I'm working on the bathroom now, and first I placed a toilet, sink, and some counters. I also put a walk-in shower but decided to change that later. I'm putting wood wall panels on a wall of the bathroom, and I also changed the color of the door. Next, I am resizing rugs to make the back wall of the bathroom green, and don't mind the floor right now, I am gonna change it later lol. I also placed a donut rug under the sink, and now I'm starting to work on the front wall of the bathroom. For this wall, I am going to make a star wall design by pushing neon arrows into the wall so you can only see the glowing dots. This wall design looks especially good at nighttime. Also, I changed the floor, but I didn't realize that I didn't like the color of it until later lol. Now I've placed a shelf on the back wall of the bathroom, and I'm also adding a towel near the sink. I'm putting a towel hanging from the shelf and a penguin lamp on the shelf, and now the shelf is done. I finally realized that I don't like the shower, and now I'm placing a bathtub and using some glass barriers and Edward wall trim to be curtains for the bath. I'm resizing the rug and I placed a wood wall panel to make a divider wall in front of the toilet. I am starting work on a rectangle wall design using bricks that will be pushed mostly into the wall. You guys will be able to see it later in the video. Now I am working on a vanity in the bathroom, and for this I am using 2 counters stacked on top of each other, and bricks to be the table of the vanity. I also finally changed the floor color. I'm adding a poof chair to the vanity and finishing the table part of it. I'm also adding a vanity mirror and resizing it to fit the vanity. I'm adding some stuff on the vanity, and now it's mostly done. This is how the bathroom looks so far. I also decorated the bookshelf and added some top wall trim in the bedroom. Now working on a wall design, I'm using bricks and pushing them into the wall to make some random rectangles. I've decided to put a railing by the stairs, so I'm using trees and a medium string to make it. I accidentally pushed the trees too far in the floor, so I'm just moving them up again and making the top of the railing. I'm also coloring everything, and I repositioned the trees a bit, but now the railing is done. I'm back in the bathroom, and I'm changing the color of the vanity table because I'm putting a rug under it. I'm making a snowflake rug using bricks and pushing them into the floor, and it will help add more winter theme to the bathroom. I'm making a winter wall design next to the bathtub because this bathroom is not wintry enough yet. I'm using bricks that will look like snow drips and icing drips at the same time. I'm also using the same hack that I did for the bedroom window to make the falling snow. I am now adding a beam to separate the wall design from the bathtub, and adding a few more snowflakes. Now it's time for the final tour. I added some stuff off camera as well.